My focus is drawn to our educational system. Currently, we run a liberalized educational policy with private investors running schools and tertiary institutions. They also have the liberty to charge any tuition structure subject to the forces of demand and supply. This is very costly because in a system where educational services are exaggerated in terms of tuition structure, it means that a lot of citizens are denied the right to access education. Education for a country to transform must be a priority. A country does not transform because of mere roads. A country does not transform because of its natural resources. A country transforms because of the human resource factor. It is the human resource that is at the core of transforming the natural resources that are within that country and put the same to production to steer up national transformation. The problem with our system is that these private investors have exaggerated prices, and we have given up as a country on our public education. The national institutions of learning have greatly been underfunded by the government, and this has crippled their operations. At a primary level and secondary, all our public schools, those traditional schools, schools like Kigezi High School, schools like Mwili in Jinja, schools like Nyakasula, schools like Kigezi College Butobele, St. Mary's College, and etc., have greatly suffered from underfunding, and as a result, most of the parents that we have in the country today are not willing to send their children into these schools. The teachers are greatly demotivated, striking every day in and out. The government could have come out to address this situation by, in the first instance, increasing the funding for our public schools, raising the payment structure for the teachers in these public schools, ensuring that they have safe accommodation facilities, and making sure that they are well motivated to render their services towards national development. This is a call, definitely, that the government has greatly abandoned. The teachers have had numerous strikes. Instead of addressing their concerns, the government has only resorted to issuing threats against them. We could have done better. We could have done better at a policy level by coming up with regulations, ensuring that there is that maximum tuition beyond which a school cannot charge the people of Uganda. However good that school is, let's say if they say beyond 1 million, you cannot, charge our nationals beyond that. That could be a great remedy. It would reduce competition. It would also make education affordable, but also then coming in to regulate admission criteria, ensuring that even those children from remote areas have a fair access to what we call better schools. This could be of great help. Now, when you focus on the national tertiary institutions, like Makerere University, for example, there is a manner in which we have softly killed education at a tertiary institutional level. This is through the lack of merit, where we have the most trained citizens in the country. Let's say at Makerere University, you have a professor who holds a PhD in law, and you pay this professor just 15 million shillings. You walk into the judiciary, you find a judge is taking 25 million when this judge, for example, has just a mere Bachelor of Arts in Laws and a postgraduate diploma in legal practice. This means that softly, most people will desist pursuing the highest level of education, but rather would continue to seek short-term appointments that offer greater rewards. This is what we call the lack of merit. You have a professor at a university spending his time in the country, doing extraordinary research, training the fresh brains that could steer up national transformation. But this professor, for example, cannot afford a better life. We ought to address these gaps as a citizenry, as a country, and the government ought to look at this as a priority. You have a presidential advisor that earns 25 million. You have a professor at the university level that is earning 15 million. How do you expect the young people to go to school and study to become professors? You would definitely be encouraging them to become pop stars and to become musicians and to run around the country in these elements of being celebs, because clearly we have demonstrated that merit does not attract a reward. Thank you so much.